play the Bacchae, what I found most meaningful was truly the sheer power of God and how that's displayed. Um, Towards the end of this play, you have this god Dionysus leading Pentheus, the king of Thebes, eventually to his death via his own mother. And I think that was very shocking to me to show just the power of God that played in the Greek society. There's three major points of conflict, and the first one would be the Maenads versus the city of Thebes. The Maenads were these wild women, crazy followers of Dionysus, who we'll explain later, and the city of Thebes kind of viewed these women as outsiders, where men were never allowed. So I think this kind of displays that women are trying to rebuild the social order in Greece and trying to find their own place in the society. Another more obvious one would be the idea of Dionysus versus Pentheus. Dionysus was the king who was trying to spread his word, and and Pentheus refused to follow this god. I think this kind of shows the divinity and the power of God that is taking place within this play, um, and just the sheer power of God. The next one would be the House of Cadamus and wanting to keep the family line going. So you had this family, the Cadamus, who set up the city of Thebes. They were the first ones to take the city, and they're wanting to keep their family line going, but they chose not to follow Dionysus, and they lost their family namesake. Their son got killed, and the mother and grandfather got exiled. The role of the Maenads in the play, they were truly women who celebrated Dionysus through dancing and drinking and truly being one with nature. In scene 1 of the play, Dionysus says, "Every female in the city, I've started on a wild stampede from home." And towards the end of the play, they were also still viewed in this way after they came out from under their spell and realized the horrible things that they had done. And they were still kind of viewed as these crazy, different type of women. And I think this kind of shows the role that women and men played in Greek society. I think men were overpowering, and these women were still following a male god, but they escaped to this land where male worshippers were not allowed, and they were killed. So women were trying to escape the social order that was put in place in Greece. The meaning of this play, there's the idea of rules and order. Pentheus really wanted certain order within his community, and he refused to follow the god Dionysus. This eventually led him to his death, and I think that shows that too much of rules and order can lead to death of a society. Another one is the exploration of religious conflict. You had these followers of Dionysus and those who chose not to follow Dionysus. This is the same case in today's society. We have all these different religions, and people don't know who to follow, and people are killing and dying and exiling people because of their religions. As seen on the cover, Elvis is the king of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and I think he really symbolized Dionysus within this play, and people really followed Elvis like a cult in the 60s, and in this play, certain people are following Dionysus like a cult, and he was the king of sex and drinking and having a great time, just as Elvis was in the 60s.